Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. So we're going to kind of update you on our project pans. They're going to be no longer starting today.
For now, yeah.
Yeah, but just for now, we basically just want to scrap our project pans because this next month we're going to be doing 24 days of eyeshadow, like leading up to Christmas. So we have to focus all of our time and effort on that. With our like palette of the month stuff, we want to end that project too because we feel like it's annoying. Like we just want to grab a new palette every day.
And it's like right now we're almost neglecting the rest of our collection because I went into the highlighter bin the other day to use just a random highlighter, and I was like,
I haven't done this in a minute.
I haven't done this in a while. Like, I use the same highlighter every single time I do my makeup, so we're just kind of wanting like a little break from it. That's about all. We're overwhelmed right now, and we want to cut it cold turkey and then probably start it up again next year.
Yeah, so after December we'll start up our project pans again. We'll probably do a 21 and 21, but I don't know how we're going to manage that with both of us. Like maybe each month we have one extra product or something. I don't know. But we're going to close our 20 and 2020 project pan. We will go into like some of the things we've made some really good progress on in this video, so you guys don't have to fret. We will show you some things. And we are also going to end our Be Perfect project pan.
So our Carnival palette, that palette anyway.
We're very close.
We're very close. It's just we aren't using pinks and orange every day. And when we do, it's just not this kind of tone. Not that these are bad by any means. The mint is almost gone. We've definitely expanded. But at this point, we are happy enough with our progress that I just don't see the point in forging on for another month.
When I don't even want to use the shades.
When I don't want to use it. Like, I use these only because I have to, not because I enjoy it or because I want to. So we're going to call this quits as well. And
we got our money's worth. We're good.
We did our thing. So
no more is needed.
No more that palette. Not right now.
Yeah, so I guess we don't really have any progress to show in palette of the month, really. We can insert the pictures, like the before and afters, but there's not much. The blue shattered in my Robbie Christie palette because I dropped it.
That's a mess.
So we repressed that and lost a lot of shadow in the process. So that one's got a lot of progress on it. In my 20 and 2020 project pan, I did finally finish up my Laura Gelly Baked Body Frosting in Tahitian Glow. I was like, I can't end this without finishing this. Like, I have to finish it. So I used it a lot as a body bronzer, like just on my neck and hands to like when my self-tan faded. I did that today with a different bronzer, and I think it looks a little intense, but there's nothing we can do now. It's already on. So that helped me with progress on this, and I'm very happy to have finished it up. This has been like a year-long journey trying to get her on, and so I'm very proud of myself.
Not quite done, but it's very close, and I will finish this up probably within the next week. This is my ColourPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer. As you can see, I'm like down to the nubbins here. I don't think yours even went down this far. Like, you stopped pumping earlier.
Yeah.
But mine's still going.
She's got a good pump.
I'm almost done with her. I'd imagine there's only a few more uses out of this, but I don't really know. But I will finish this up. I'm just going to call it, obviously the whole project is done, but for the project, I feel like this is a done kind of product.
So I did decide that I am done with this highlighter from I Love Saturday and Dose of Colors. It's in the shade Babe. I really hate it. Like, I truly hate the way it looks. I probably used it 5 times this month. Like, every time I put it on, I was like, oh. And so the next day I'd be like, no, we're not putting that back on, because I despise the way it looks. So we're probably going to end up decluttering that one. It's pretty mangled anyway, and it's too dark for Vic. So it's just not for me. The tone is a little too bruisey for my liking. I like a gold highlight, and that is very much pink purple.
It's a rose gold.
Yeah, rose gold, but like very cool toned. It's very bizarre. It doesn't look very good on me. I used to like it, but it's not for me nowadays, so I'm not gonna hurt myself trying to use that. I'm just gonna declutter it.
My ColourPop Tiptoe is almost gone. So close. I will finish this up. I'm determined to finish this. It's been a slow and painful process. I'm pretty sure this has been in since the beginning of the project.
Since the beginning of 2020? I don't think so.
You sure?
I think it was midway through.
It feels like it's been here forever, but it's almost gone. It's just
That was a year ago. There's no way it's been in here for a year.
Yeah, there is. I just don't know what to say. I'm so close to being done. I wanted it to be done for our update, but alas. I should have used it as a cream blush today, but
pretty close on my NYX Born to Glow. You can't see it, but like when I
it's hard to
shake
squeeze
it,
out.
yeah, it's hard to squeeze out. So I'm almost done with this. I will finish it, although it's not my favorite foundation. I personally wouldn't repurchase this again. It's just a little too, I don't want to say cakey. Like for most people, this would be very beautiful and radiant and fresh looking, but it's just a little too heavy on the coverage for my preferred liking at this point in life. So I really have to sheer it out with some things, and that is just, I don't want to have to sheer everything. Like, I don't want to have to sheer it out every time I use it. And half the time I end up wasting like 90% of the foundation I poured out anyway. I need like the back of a brush full. Like just doop doop. So I will be finishing this. And I probably will finish my e.l.f. Camo Concealer too. It's been laying on the side so you can't see how it looks. But the doe foot's starting to get pretty dry. Well, not like pretty dry, but it's getting low. Like I think that it'll probably be gone by the end of this year for sure. So I am going to truck on with this. So just because we're closing the project doesn't mean we're done panning these items. It just means we're done recording it.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, there are things I'm sure that we will declutter and things that we might roll out. Or in. Not roll. Oh yeah, roll into like a new project in the future. Basically, our plan is to do a project inclusive this next year. And hopefully that goes well. I just don't know how many items we're going to have in that versus the 20 and 2021. That's going to be kind of weird. We could always do one mini, like 0.5.
Well, yeah, but I just don't know how many minis we'll have to go through, you know?
You got me there. But yeah, we just decided, and this includes my regular project pan, we just want to take a break for the next month. I don't know if we'll start up everything in January or if we're gonna wait. It's been fun just to play with our stuff, and I really missed doing that.
Yeah, instead of kind of feeling this requirement to use certain items, like it's nice to still like just to come in and use what we have, but not be forced to use the same thing every day. So that's kind of what we're feeling. Like we just want to take a break and have a month or a couple months to just play in our collection and like deep dive into it, because we haven't done that in so long. I mean, we've been project panning now for a year, or maybe a little over a year is when we started, and we've been
unofficially project panning for a long time.
Yeah, and so we're kind of at the point where we're ready to close it and open the new door next year, because we're nearing the end of the year anyway, and I'm just tired of it. Just for the moment. I love project panning. I don't think that'll ever end. Like, we're gonna keep panning, but it is frustrating when you have all these requirements of things that you have to use. I know loosely, but like you're holding yourself accountable for those products, and then
your other things are collecting dust.
Yeah, and so it just kind of defeats the purpose of project panning if you're not going to use anything else in your collection. So for certain things, like it's like that Laura Geller bronzer, I didn't use any other bronzer maybe once since I rolled that back in. Like I really stuck to that bronzer because in my mind that is the end-all be-all of life. I have to finish that bronzer. And it just became this overwhelming requirement that's like, well, what if I want to dip into my BH bronzer or my ColourPop, or not ColourPop, or like my Makeup Revolution one or whatever. So it'll be nice just to kind of deep dive into our stuff because we got a lot of it.
We'll just have to kind of strike a balance, because it's some people like we always have really good progress for our updates. And I watch other project panners that don't, and they're fine with that. They're like, yeah, I'll do some more next month. Like, not a big deal. I was just reaching into other things. But like in my mind, I can't do that. Like I feel so guilty. I have panner's guilt, if that's a thing. Like I feel so awful.
We're really strict about it. We really are.
I just adhere to the guidelines that I have set. I'm like, well, if I rolled this in, that means this is the thing I use until it's gone. It doesn't have to be that way, but it's hard to convince me otherwise.
Yeah, well, and we bought a bunch of new eyeshadow recently, or had it sent to us, you know, with Kaleidos, and so, you know, we'd be using all the Kaleidos palettes so we could give you guys an update on how we feel about them, and so we can post about them, because, you know, we were very honored to get that PR, so we want to make sure that they are aware that we love them and use them, but, you know, then our monthly palette goes to the side, because we're using other things, and so it does make me feel so incredibly guilty for no reason. And since we have so much new eyeshadow, I want to be able to play in that. I want to be able to divulge
There's
in that.
I mean, there's definitely a benefit to panning and using things up, but there's also a really great advantage of just having the world at your fingertips at your makeup station, and you can just do whatever you want, and you can be creative and play with it, and that's just kind of what we want to do again. Like, we didn't start out as a panning YouTube channel or account, though panning we get the best views on our panning videos.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a
double-edged sword.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. I don't want people to like not subscribe because we don't pan for the next month or whatever, but I'm sure other panners know what we're talking about. A lot of people have ended projects early. Some people like roll things out that they're sick of, like it's not a big deal, but in my mind, like the world is going to end.
It is a big deal.
So that's kind of where we're at on things. I don't know what else to say.
Well, I am really excited for when we do start our next project, because we are going to do a project inclusive. So basically we're trying to pan out like bronzers and foundations and whatever we have in our collection that has a terrible range, because we are privileged enough to be able to walk into a Target and pick up something without checking the shade range, and then we get home, because I did that with the Neutrogena skin tint. I put it on, I was like, wow, this is amazing. I checked the shade range online. I'm like, oh, I'm the darkest shade? Oh shit, because I don't want to support brands that do that, because I have lots of friends in this community that have deep skin or deep dark skin, and I think that it's unfair of me to come on here saying like, oh my god, I love this foundation, and they check and they're like, I couldn't even use that as a concealer, you know, like I couldn't even use that as a highlight shade. I don't want to recommend things that aren't going to work for anybody that watches us. So I'm really excited to start that project so we can just get all of that out of here and be extra conscious going forward. And we are going to make mistakes and buy bronzers that don't have the best range.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a goal. It's something that we're trying to keep in mind more often than not. And I'm also trying to figure out where my balance is, like when we cancel brands, like do we ever uncancel them? Mainly because I want stuff from Juvia's Place, please. I just don't know.
Palette.
That stupid pink 6-pan palette, shimmering magenta, I can't do it. It's so pretty. But I know that I don't want to support Juvia's Place based on the owner's actions, and I guess I haven't seen much come out, like, drama-wise since then. So maybe here this next year I'll be open to supporting them again. I normally just ask people, like, what do you think about this? Yeah. Like, people that are more directly impacted than I, because most things don't bother me. I'm going to be completely honest. I have to see other people upset, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's bad. Did Joe die in the shower?
Guess we'll find out when we get out of here.
So basically I'm just trying to find a balance between not being like a Nazi over everything, basically like, oh, that brand owner like was 16 and they drank alcohol, cancel, you know, like yeah. I need to be more discerning about true mistakes and things that seem intentionally malicious, that kind of deal. So we'll find a balance to that eventually, and if we decide to uncancel some brands, you'll be the first to know. Really, the only exception to not uncanceling would always be Jeffree Star Cosmetics. There is nothing that will ever make me hate that man less. But this kind of went off on a little tangent. Basically, we are ending our project pans right now, and we will continue on in the future. We just want to take a step back right now, and that's okay. That is a-okay. It's great. There's nothing wrong with it. So, don't come for us. And I guess that's all for the video. Yeah, that about sums it up. So, be sure to like and subscribe for future panning content. And we will see you in the next one. Bye!